bunch of yada yada over the best part.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the theme music, which means one thing, bitch. You heard correctly. We are back for another great episode here on the Yadda Yadda podcast, episode 104. It's the kid, Joe Cornejo.
It's your boy, Black Hyphy.
No, so.
Who else we got in the building with us?
Sebastian.
You know what I'm saying? We got Ezra here, the youngin. You know what I'm saying? It's a big weekend here in Kansas City, man. It's a rainy Sunday, man. Coming off a big modeling show May Mob had. Yeah. Ezra put together, man, on y'all behalf. Help lay that out at the Lowe's Ferns this past weekend, man. How was that? You was there.
I was there briefly. Really, Ezra handled it, and the boys took care of it. So it was a dub for the May Mob crew. Proud of them.
Was it nice seeing the youngins take charge?
Yeah, it's good. It's always interesting to see how they handle things, how they respond to things.
Yeah,
but yeah, they doing good.
It was good, man. It's a big weekend at Lowe's Ferns. Robert Gallardo, is that his name? Gallardo,
I guess.
Was in town. The creative director of AUG, ASAP Rocky's creative agency.
One of many, I think.
Yeah, one of the few people head of the creative directors. So, Andre, you were there Friday when he was DJing. What'd you think of that?
I thought at the beginning I was like, okay, yeah, and my smile just like not quickly, over time, it just turned into a frown.
Damn, you was frowning by the end of the night. What happened?
Ezra saw me. I was frowning. I had my. Have you seen that meme of the Popeye's chicken worker where she's outside sitting? That's how I was sitting. That's how I was sitting behind Dom, bro. Because I was just tired of the. This is gonna sound crazy. I was tired of the Latin mix music, bro.
Wow, during Latin Heritage Month, really, bro?
On God.
On God.
Message.
That's crazy.
Get that Hispanic shit out of here.
Let's not abuse that soundbite. Let's calm down.
You're right. Shout out to my peoples.
After I left, shout out to Latin people. After I left, I was just thinking, I'm like, was that on purpose? Like, were they playing Latin music or like this upbeat tempo music to like get rid of the black people in the Lowe's Ferns? Question mark.
Ooh.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord. God, we need to come up with other sound effects. Like, we need a Law and Order. Dun dun.
Yeah.
We need a Law and Order.
Don't give me no ideas now.
Yeah. Dom always brings out a diverse crowd, and there were a lot of black people out. And by the end of the set, there weren't. So, not his set.
Mission accomplished.
The Robert set.
Mission accomplished.
I think they did what they wanted to do.
That's crazy.
I think they did what they were setting out to do. So, all in all, I mean, the guy was a nice guy. I talked to him, but just wasn't for me by the end of it.
Yeah, so that wasn't. He was doing a DJ set, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw Dom's advertising it, and I wasn't sure what he was doing. Like, if he was performing, like, music, or if he was DJing.
He was DJing, and I will give Dom credit. Once he passed over the set to Robert said that, okay, we can go back and forth near the end. And Dom was keeping his own. He was mixing shit, and Robert would like play like I don't know, like just the instrumental, and Dom was in charge of setting the pace and tones of in terms of
vocals,
what people were hearing, like the sounds and whatnot. So the instrumental would play, and then Dom was like literally live cutting.
Yeah.
So that was impressive. So shout out to Dom.
Yeah, and honestly, like going back to back on DJing is actually kind of difficult.
It's
super hard because you're just really going off the vibes they're setting, and it's like you can't sync it up. From the same board. Even if y'all connect to the same board, because like y'all on two different laptops, so you can't just like hit the sync button and it does it for you.
And Robert didn't even have a laptop. He had a board or a deck that
had the stuff in it.
Pre-programmed.
Yes.
So that was impressive too.
That's
so
super
he was
impressive.
Just like he was turning the knob and finding the songs on the spot. So I'll give him credit. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So you saying their initiative is to get rid of the black people in
1,000%.
I like how you went from I'm not accusing him of that to like 100%.
Let's dive into that. Why do you feel that way?
Because I've heard from people that they'll tell you not to play certain songs.
Mm-hmm.
And not from the DJ, but from the people who run the spot, the venue.
Yeah.
So
What songs?
Ones that would excite black.
Is it not like it's not like us, man?
Huh?
Nah, Dom played that at his last show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they're if it is rap, it will be like a fusion. Because I've personally I've never heard just a straight rap song in the Lowest Ferns.
No, Dom played some rap songs the last set he did.
What songs?
He did. This is how I know I'll be paying attention, right? So he did International's Players Anthem.
Okay.
And while he was mixing that, I remember he posted a video from his last Lowest Ferns set where he just
Was
did,
it just a straight song?
yeah, it was just a straight song.
Okay.
And he played International's Players Anthem and he just freestyled real quick and he mixed it with Lean for Real by Playboy Cardi. And so when he did that at the last Lowest Ferns set I went to, he started playing International's Players Anthem. And I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, you better play that Lean for Real after this."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I am. Don't you worry." I was
Yeah.
like, "Bet, you better." And then he did.
Mm-hmm.
And because like I knew that he already mixed that once, I was like, "Okay, he's probably gonna do that again." And thankfully he did. And he did play he played all of Playboy Cardi's verse.
So could it just be that just this one time since his was it
Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, Hispanic Heritage Month that they just playing that, and that's not really their initiative, and it just so happened that the black folks was like,
Maybe. I mean,
seems
from
like
what
a
I
cool
was getting
space.
At, like the black people none of the black people were dancing to this shit. So it wasn't like hitting like they thought it was. Like near the front of the audience and the crowd and people were fucking with it. Like if you were behind the DJs, that like had that little area, you would think, oh, it's lit as fuck in here. But then if you walk just
Past
a
the
little
DJ,
bit.
past the dance floor.
not even past the dance floor, because the dance floor wasn't full. It wasn't all the way full. It was maybe 3/4, right? All the black people sitting down. They leaving. They getting out of here. So I don't know if there's a code word or but Dom was playing rap music, but by the time that like all the people are like coming in there and they leaving.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, I don't want to hear this. How many times can you be, for lack of better words, cock teased, blue-balled into thinking that you about to hear Playboy Cardi or because I think it was what is it? It was a Chief Keef song, No Flocking, and everybody was like, "Hey!"
You mean that's a Kodak Black song?
Kodak Black, pardon me. It was a Chief Keef song though. That was
Don't
playing.
Like.
It wasn't Don't Like. I just used that for example before the podcast.
For sure.
But it was a Chief Keef song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the specific title, but everybody was hyped to hear it. And then it was we're gonna blur New Jersey up. That's
Finito.
Yeah, Finito. So
Classic.
at the beginning of Finito, they were like, "Hey!" And then this nigga's playing like
Like
it just wasn't
a
for
dubstep
me.
remix.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
Yeah, that does
Yeah.
that does annoy me when DJs do that because sometimes like the regular song is good on its own. I don't need you to freak it, remix it with a Jersey mix and nothing like that. Just play the regular song.
I'm a pretty cultured guy. Like I like upbeat music. I like dancing, but I can't. I can't keep
There
doing
we
the
go.
same
Yeah,
shit
just
over
say
and
it.
over again.
Say it, Sion.
Just say it.
It's the same shit over and over again, bro.
Just
And
say you don't
It's
like
the
live
same
music.
tempo over and over again.
All right, so because I think what happens is because Dom set when his last Lowest first set was kind of like that in the beginning. There was just a lot of like mixes, Jersey EDM type stuff, but he'd blend in some hip hop lyrics into it, and it'd just be like a little background noise for it, right? And so he did that for like the first half of his set, but then like the second half he started playing like full hip hop songs that we knew, and then that really got it jumping.
Dom is a good DJ.
Dom is a good DJ.
The other guy isn't a bad DJ either. It just wasn't for me.
Just the mixing.
Yeah.
Is that a Casey thing or is that just
I think he
a
wasn't
DJ
playing to his
thing?
audience. I think they gave him the keys and they should have gave him a bumper car and let him feel out the actual
What would be
thing.
the bumper car? Like, what parameters would you give him?
Like, okay,
So if you were in charge of Lowest Ferns and he was like, all right, what should I do tonight?
for that night specifically,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have Dom with you, I'd ask Dom what he usually plays here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the guy just played whatever he wanted to play.
Like whatever he plays everywhere else.
Yeah,
Do you think that same set hits in another big city?
maybe. There's more people, so maybe, yeah.
Maybe the crowd's just wrong.
See, I'm the DJ. I don't think the DJ is in customer service. You're playing to them, like, and if you're not, they'll leave.
Yeah.
So that's the currency. The bodies are the currency. So it can't be the audience is wrong in terms of DJ.
But see, that's
the DJ has to adjust because he has all the power.
and I definitely agree with what you're saying. But that's also slippery slope too, because if the DJ's main point is to cater to the audience, then that means he'll just start playing stuff that you just gonna hear everywhere.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
you
We
need to
also
have
don't like
integrity.
that either, you know?
You need to have integrity. Huh? No.
Ezra said they weren't paired right. Like, so Doms and Robert weren't a match together, DJing wise? Okay. See, do you think DJs have enough, like, courtesy to inquire, like, what kind of audience do y'all have? Or do they just come in doing whatever they feel like they just want to do?
See,
Because that's kind of the
I don't
beauty
know.
of
I
Lois
don't have the
Ferns.
know-how.
Lois Ferns seems like a place that lets you just play whatever you want to play as a DJ. Like, you set the tone for the night.
I don't, bro. I've literally had conversations with people and said that they don't want some songs played.
Yeah. Like
Like the venue,
I can understand if Lois Ferns said, like, yo, don't play no Boss Man D-Lo tonight.
bro. Like
That's
Because
kind of
if
that's
they wanted-
targeted
if they
towards a
wanted-
very specific demographic.
if they wanted black people in there, bro, there are enough DJs that play music catered to black people to have that. But they don't want that. They want they want
the culture of, like, that, but not the actual people.
they want black people in there. They just don't want black people to hear black music.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Here, speak it to the mic, Sion.
Yeah, I've been to the Ferns one time before. Personally, for me, it wasn't it wasn't like my vibe that night, but I definitely understand what they're going for. But I think a different perspective is that, like, not necessarily playing songs for black people, but maybe the vibe of the club isn't geared towards that sound. You know what I mean? Because you go to different clubs all around the city, they each have their own flavor. You know what I mean? If you're black and you want to go, yeah, if you're black and you want to go to that club, you can. You know what I mean?
Can I go?
Go ahead.
Is he done? You
Are
done?
My counter to
Let
that.
him finish.
My counter to that is More Than Friends. And in the Lois Ferns is More Than Friends, the club, in aesthetics wise. I don't think that you can say that the aesthetic isn't for black people, so black people shouldn't expect to hear music, because More Than Friends has been shattering that glass ceiling since 2 years ago now.
I mean, there's also Bridges in the 9.
I wouldn't say like it's not an aesthetic that's not for black people. It's more so like, okay, maybe they're going towards, and you saying this is like a More Than Friends replica makes a lot of sense, because it feels like a inauthentic version of that to me. But maybe they're just trying to do a different sound, you know what I mean, or try some shit out. Maybe they try some house music or EDM, you know, like depends on the night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that night that you went happened to just be Latin music.
Bro, I've been there where they've played absolute bullshit.
Lois Ferns or the shit?
I have as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So when Dom is there, I'm not expecting that.
Yeah, I
I'm
know the vibe's
expecting-
going to be
yeah,
what
I'm
I'm
expecting-
expecting.
And the black people that were there were expecting a More Than Friends like experience, and they did not get that. They got
Well, I mean,
More Than Amigos.
in all more than Amigo.
Yes, Lord.
But no,
Yeah.
I'll drop a bomb for you.
I know when I make a bad joke and Alex doesn't laugh.
I was
It's
like,
really
ugh.
bad.
He was like, I'm gonna let you on that island, brother. You sit on that island by yourself. Wilson.
I don't know. I feel like it. I don't know. I haven't been enough to say that it's a complete copy, because my experiences with like Into the Lois Fern is like it's been different events every time that I've went.
And I'll
So
give
it's
them
like
credit there.
I never had the expectation of like a More Than Friends environment Into the Lois Fern. But now it's different when Dom is on the bill. That's
what I'm
where-
saying.
So I can understand that, but I don't know about them being like the exact same thing. Cause I expect a different sound at Into the Lois Ferns. Like I expect like some weirder shit.
I'm just saying how it looks. How it looks. Turn the music off.
Honestly, but that's like trendy everywhere. Like I've been like a few other places. I ain't trying to air nobody else out, but everybody doing like the tiki thing. It's not like new,
But
I think a bigger issue is like we not having two venues that could do cool shit or different
same
things.
time.
Now we're just arguing about if they're like the same or like some petty shit, and then it's
but wait,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I don't feel like I definitely want black people to feel safe in the space, but also like I don't know all the details as to why you saying this, So I'm like,
we're talking about a venue that opened up a month after a venue that's already called Fern Bar. So these niggas been stealing shit. Let's not act like.
hey, I don't know about that. Hey, look, I know some.
What? We had
Stand on it, Andre.
Ezra, we had that conversation before In the Lowest Ferns was really popping off. Niggas would be confused between the two things.
I still be confused sometimes when people
Okay,
talk about
so
I'm going to the Fern Bar.
It's not a stretch to say that.
I ain't gonna lie,
these niggas
Fern Bar
aren't
is weak.
copiers.
Fern Bar is weak. It's a weird ass environment, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't even gonna say no extra shit about it. Like,
Bro, I just want other niggas to have keys too.
I feel that.
I just want, and it's
All
not
right,
like
so let me
At
ask
this
you this.
point, like we need to just buy a building. Like,
on God.
All right, so let's take it there
You got
then.
1.5?
I was actually about to go to that. So did you ever go to Bridgers of the Nine?
Bridgers of the Nine. What the hell is that?
Bridgers was the club in Westport, and then the Nine was a club that was popping during like the Chiefs' first Super Bowl run.
I went to Bridgers before, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a black-owned space
Yeah.
in a space for like black people.
No, it wasn't black owned.
I mean but it was a black club.
It was a black club.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't
should say.
black owned.
Excuse me. Yes, black club.
Yeah.
And so was the Nine. I think a former NFL player ran the Nine,
I never been to the Nine.
but like it wasn't open very long because
Okay.
shit would go down and then
Yeah.
they shut it down immediately.
So you say niggas are the problem?
No, I'm just saying like when those spaces opened up, like did you go frequent them? Did you see what the experience was like?
I did go to Bridgers.
So like
But-
compared to like everything
See-
else that we've been to, like what do you think?
But also Bridgers was just it wasn't just Nick. It was just niggas.
What
but
you
it
gonna
was a
say?
different bar before that. It was
a cause.
Johnny Calls.
Yeah.
So I'd been to Bridgers when it was Johnny Calls.
Same.
And it didn't change. Nothing changed about it.
I mean, they opened up the back patio to like actually be something as opposed to aside from a disgusting place to smoke cigarettes at.
Bro,
I guess where you going bringing up Bridgers?
yeah.
Like
Were you-
what?
Well,
what
because
is-
like you said you wanted like space where like that was catered towards black people and like things that black people like to enjoy when they go out, and that was one of those spaces because they had Nick Davis there all the time. They had popular black DJs there,
Yeah.
and so like
They never had Nick Davis at the Ferns. I think that's a
the Lowe's Ferns.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, has Nick Davis done he hasn't done a Morning Friends, has he? He has.
Yes, he has.
He has. Okay, cool.
So
So,
that's
he's
a-
been to the ship,
Yeah, that's like.
but
come
you
on,
have the
bro.
Ferns just like started popping like a year ago.
Bro, like,
You know what? Open up your own Fern Bar.
hey, bro,
Hey,
I'm trying, bro.
low-key.
Now we're going to bat for. Hold on, Andre.
I'm opening up Lowest Ferns too.
No, I'm gonna be.
I'm
what
the
is it?
highest
We gotta
Ferns.
fi-
Yeah.
we gotta find another plant to copy. What is it? Between the dandelions.
Between the dandelion. Yes. Go
Between
ahead,
the
Andre.
weeds or something like
How
that.
about we start that?
Nah, for real.
We'll just turn
Man,
May Mob into that.
I don't
Under the
know.
willow tree.
I think niggas should build it. Like if y'all don't like it, build a. What is this nigga doing outside of? Oh, this nigga.
What?
Nothing. Sorry, it's one of the collectors. They
Oh.
be picking up the roaches and shit in the lot.
It's wet outside too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you were
But-
saying?
Nah,
Think you should just
man.
build it?
Yeah, I think we should build it. I don't want to like just say, "Oh, it's not a problem" or "There's not something there," but if them like the only 3 places where niggas go to see DJ sets, that like that's one thing.
I think.
And then it's like, I don't want us to like, just limit like black events to what Bridgers is. That's
Yeah.
like that's just stereotyping.
Hey, drop a bomb for that.
And then that's like that's not the right measure either. Like it's easy to make people feel comfortable in a space.
Yeah.
Like it is very simple. So
Yeah.
the more we try and complicate it or we try and box it in, the more difficult it is for us to have like spaces that's cool, you know?
Yeah. And like for example, like when Dom goes there, I know what I'm getting into when I go see Dom do a DJ set. And that seems like his sets are always tailored towards me and like other, black and brown people that also like what Dom does. And I think when I go to Lowe's first, I'm expecting to kind of get like a More Than Friends vibe, but just something a little bit more experimental as well because it's not a More Than Friends.
Yeah.
And so like that's the cool thing about it. So I think when they bring an artist or a DJ like Dom's, they know who he's attracting. So I do think it comes down to the DJs that they bring to Lowe's Ferns. And maybe they're just not expanding their horizons yet on who they want to bring in terms of DJing. Because maybe they're not in the know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know who runs it.
They're definitely in the know, bro, because
I would like to see Nick Davis at Lowe's Ferns. I would like to see Brian be shining at Lowe's Ferns. There's plenty of awesome black DJs in the city that do great things that I would love to go see, have a set like that, and where they can just be creative and free and just play what they want.
yeah, I think that's the beauty of the space, the in Lois Ferns, is that even Dom is, when we've talked about it, he's felt a breath of fresh air or like liberation as to being able to play whatever and not really having expectation. But in that same regard, you gotta give us something. We gotta eat off something, bro. Like
what are we?
Can't be dancing all night. You know what
Then
I'm
what
saying?
are you,
I feel that.
What are you
I feel
asking
that.
for?
I feel that.
Huh?
What are you asking for? What do you want?
Diverse music? Are you asking for that?
Like, if we not gonna be dancing the whole night, what we gonna be doing?
Do you want to turn up?
I want to hear a whole verse on a few songs first. That's
He want to rap.
Yeah.
No,
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
no. Even if they play like some song, like some singing music.
Yeah.
Like there's like I want to hear a whole verse to a song.
I feel that.
It was just a sound effect over Latin beats the whole night, or they would introduce and tease a song that they had no intention of playing.
You know
I think that's
who
some bullshit.
they should have had? They should have just had FK do it.
FK is crazy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
Every time FK at the Ferns or into the Lowe's Ferns, it's some wild shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like he be having that balance of weird and then like some shit you want to hear, you know?
He does. He does have a
Plays
fine
words.
balance.
I know what you're saying
Yeah.
about the. I understand what you're saying about the words, bro. But if you go to clubs like around the U.S. or even around the world, a lot of clubs don't do that. A lot of clubs will do exactly what you're saying is that sound effect
All right.
and the uns.
So you came from Paris, right? You were in
Yeah.
Paris for the summer. You went partying and clubbing. So like when you went to those clubs, were you hearing similar music?
So what I would do is you'd figure out what type of music you want to hear, and you'd look for a club that plays that type of music or that has a DJ that's playing that type of music. You go to that club.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So that's how they do it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it's that way in bigger cities too. You know where certain music is being played, and you go to that club.
Yeah, you
So
know
does
your
that come
vibe
back?
is up.
You know where your vibe is.
Does that come to us, like us having a problem in Kansas City where we don't have many of those options?
I feel like we don't have enough options to say like, oh, I can go here, here, and here if I know this. Okay, you go to Westport if you want to get the homogenous everybody. You go down to West Bottoms if you want to get the more like eclectic, cooler crowd. You know, you go
Yeah.
to Crossroads if you want to get the people coming from JoCo, you know, and also a little mix of aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's where you can kind of move around. But when you talk about like,
So yeah, there's all of that. But so say somebody like us, like we want to hear some hip hop music tonight. Like where would we go? Like
honestly,
Shit, go home.
go home.
if you want to
Yeah.
hear some hip hop
you don't
music,
go. You don't put your AirPods in.
shit, man. I mean,
Create your own music.
I mean, I think everybody, it's tricky because we not really narrowing down what we like asking for or like what we want. I get what it
Just need to
seems
open
like
up.
is like we want more spaces where, you know,
We could be us
yeah,
and just like enjoy our music or whatever music that we're into as a collective.
But when you say our music,
See, like so
about
the reason I fuck with More Than Friends is because like when I first went, I knew I was gonna hear shit that I haven't heard at any other Kansas City establishment because it's Dom and I trust his judgment.
But more than friends for me is like I could take anybody to that party. I could take anybody to a party like that.
Yeah, because
White,
it's
black,
accessible musically.
It's accessible music to everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
You know?
But there was also like a very specific like pocket of music they were playing. Not that it was like deep cuts or nothing like that, but it was
Right.
just like hit songs we don't hear normally out in other KC establishments.
Right.
And so like that's why I always fucked with it, because I knew I was gonna hear some shit that I wanted to hear like all night. Like we can't go anywhere else and hear Finito or Don't Like by Chief Keef in Kansas City besides More Than Friends.
Man, that's cap.
Where else have you heard that at?
You gonna hear Finito somewhere.
I
I think that's cap.
the shit was the first time I ever heard that out.
Was you at Bridgers?
No, I didn't go to Bridges.
They probably played that shit there. Or like
Bridgers is gone, though.
just because like we not at the clubs that shit is getting played at don't mean they don't exist. But I do think it is very few that's doing it at a higher level. Like Into the Lowest Ferns do it at a higher level, or More Than Friends is like at a higher level. So it is like an open market. So gather y'all resources. Like it's
Do niggas still go to Throwback?
I don't know. I don't be
I ain't been Throwback
be
in
out
years.
in the mix like that. So it's hard for me to like have like a angle on it. But I'm trying to understand more, like what y'all asking for. To play the song.
Resources and the money to open up my own club, so I'll be able to play whatever the fuck I want.
Hey, drop the link in the lower thirds.
You know,
Once I open
What-
up my own club,
Start
it'll be
donating
over.
now.
Yeah,
cut the check.
bro,
Cut Andre the check.
bro, niggas don't want to donate to me. I'm still raising money for the app.
Yeah.
Clearly, like
Motherfuckers don't want to give us money. Yeah.
literally.
So once you get it going, then they'll understand the vision. That list came out in 2018 from like the Westport rumor list that had like songs that are not allowed to play in Westport establishments.
Yeah.
And it was like Sicko Mode, Mo Bamba, like all the hit
Rowdy
hip-hop songs.
music.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, you don't understand. That's how I know you don't know who your fan base is, because your people that come to Westport would go crazy over Sicko Mode.
I think that's what people are like scared of. People don't know. It's hard to judge what is just some nigga shit and what's just like people enjoying some music.
Yeah.
I think there's a deeper issue here.
Yeah, it's definitely a deeper kind of deal.
Let's go.
How would you define it?
I would say it's a culture thing. As far as not playing music, I feel like that is trying to isolate the crowd, like what Andre is saying, and kind of get them out of there.
That definitely is weird.
It's like you're trying to freeze 'em out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the culture here is like they want to play that music, but they're afraid of what that might attract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's cool per se, but from an owner and operator perspective, I
Turn it
can
into a capitalist.
Yeah.
I can understand where they're coming from that perspective. It's like, oh, I'm scared.
But that's just a crazy
I think
assumption.
this-
I think the
It's a
assumption-
crazy
I don't
assumption.
fuck with that, cause like
I don't fuck with it either.
being afraid of people is like,
You shouldn't be in the.
yeah.
Yeah.
One, if
Right.
you already perceiving somebody in fear, you're not gonna treat them the right way.
Right.
So like you got to be able to gauge danger and understand like what is an actual threat to your space and accommodate that. So like that's why you have security. That's why you ID people. That's why you have like these processes to like make sure that it is a safe environment.
Nobody's
or
just
like
walking
you
in with
cut
a pistol.
you cut people off.
Right.
But it's like that.
But Bridgers is gone. Ale
But-
House is gone.
But I mean,
You know?
Even then, they still have processes to get into Westport. You still had to go through like the metal detectors to get into
Exactly.
Westport. But now, granted, not everybody went through those, so like
Yeah.
shit got through because if you know
So
the
then
right
you
person,
get the bullshit now. If you go to Westport now, it's just bullshit.
yeah,
I think it just
know?
be like whoever is owning and operating, you allow for a certain standard. You know, like you to a certain degree, like y'all responsible for if somebody is getting super fucked up in here, or
Right.
y'all responsible if like guns is getting in here and shit like that. yeah, and it's like that shit is like on you, so you can't move around here like afraid. And if you want to make some money, like you gotta target everybody.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I
But
agree.
you gotta have standards, and you gotta be able to make sure there is a certain energy at your event, like you control the tone and the tempo. Like we hardly ever have bullshit happen at the open mic because our audience and as well as the people putting on, like are understand like what we here for. At your events, Andrea Saber events, niggas don't be tripping. It don't be a bunch of bullshit happening because everybody here is to support art. Like it gotta get back to that. But I'm saying like if it really is some shit that gotta get aired out, that is like allowing for some bullshit, we gotta target the specific thing and address that. Cause that's where we gonna fix it. Cause you feel what I'm saying?
I do. And I haven't had some shit where it's like super egregious to where I'm like, I'll never give my business. The last few times I've been in the lowest ferns, I haven't spent any money. Like on just the strength of Nelson, like off me. So,
Go ahead, Andre.
So I haven't like it's fucked up that they're targeting specific people that they want to be in the venue, but that's how you get people in the venue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but the other hand of it where it's don't play this type of music, don't cultivate this type of crowd, like be careful when you, I think all those things can be circumvented by having people that, like if you are afraid of some group of people, like if you're afraid of black people, then I would embrace having black people upon your staff so that they can deal with that and you can just go on autopilot and not even have to deal with that. Hopefully in that you won't be afraid of them anymore and that could like help that, but you shouldn't be in the people business if you're afraid of people.
Exactly. I had to learn that just like with First Fridays.
Yeah.
Like First Fridays get crazy here. And there was a time where I was like just trying to monitor everything.
Yeah.
And it was like it got to a point to where I was just paranoid about everything that was happening. And at a certain point it's like people look at me and they like, what the fuck is going on with this nigga?
Then you the tweaker.
Yeah, exactly. And then after you relax and you realize people gonna be people, and if it is an issue, like you address the specific issue when it happens. Like you nip shit. You gotta just nip shit
on 10
when it happens.
right there.
Yeah. And then continue about it. Cause it's like how we respond to things is where it gets weird.
Yep.
Like it's different. It's one thing for me to let someone into the shop and them to be kind of odd, but it's another thing for me to allow for that to just prejudge them and be like, all right, this person is on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes there are signs. There are
It's like,
signs,
ooh,
for sure. Yeah, you off the eekies.
There's this one nigga at the last First Fridays. He was wearing a onesie and no shoes, no socks. I was like, he had nothing, and you could see there's nothing in his pockets. This nigga was just dolo, like out
Just
here.
out
I
and
was like,
about.
and he was just walking, chilling. I'm like, okay, let's go get some chicken. Or
Let's go get some chicken.
And that's like a whole nother thing. Like it be some other shit going on. In
niggas just be wanting to be seen, bro.
Yeah.
But
Other than that, good weekend.
yeah, I mean, Chiefs still playing. I think these conversations need to be happening because we don't really talk about them. We just as a KC, community, we just consume. We don't really.
It's like these are conversations we'll
reflect.
have like just amongst people.
Exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, da.
Or
We don't really
industry
talk about this
people.
on the mics.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes I feel like our party environments don't have like women like as the we should be
As the
trying
focal
to
point.
take care of women and accommodate women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the market
would-
for any club because it's like y'all want beautiful people in y'all space.
You got to
But
start
it's like you
gearing
gotta
this shit towards
you
them.
gotta treat them right.
Yeah. I always say like when I start DJ, I'm gonna be like the Cash Cobain of DJs, where I'm only playing towards women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to do, bro.
Yeah, cause like Boss Man D-Lo's cool, but like I'm not trying to get like in a street run on my DJ sets.
Girls like Boss Man D-Lo.
They do, but it's like how much street shit can you play that's gonna make the women want to keep?
Hey, now
dancing?
there's a balance, Joe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There is a
I
balance.
just want you
but
to
I feel like
find
there-
the balance.
I feel like sometimes we just be leaning too hard into the street side of music.
Because honestly, if there is an environment for the ratchets to enjoy themselves to the street music in a safe way, we should let them.
Oh yeah, do your thing, girl. Shake your ass one time. I don't care what you dancing to.
That was never throwback, Sion. That was never
What?
throwback.
Oh, he was like, that's what
Throwback
throwback was.
Throwback was never safe.
It was
first
all
of-
throwback
Why
shit.
wasn't it safe?
because the infrastructure that they had there.
Which was
Like the layout of it.
No, I'm blaming the staffing and the administration. Always. I'm always gonna blame them. It's not a people problem, it's the people running.
It's always
people
you
problem.
always got to look at leadership.
Yes, it's the leadership.
'Cause at the end of the day, that is your establishment, and you set the
Yeah.
tone for the environment you're gonna welcome into your establishment. And so, if you don't set that line early on, you're just gonna allow for bullshit to keep happening in your establishment to the point where it's like, oh,
Niggas
now we
know that it's gonna be bullshit.
we
so
either
I'ma
don't want
roll
you
my
here no
blunt.
more, or we're gonna shut your business down.
Exactly, and I'm gonna roll my blunt on the DJ stand. I'm gonna have my gun tucked in between my butt cheek. You know what I'm saying? He gonna,
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna roll up wherever. Just so
getting
y'all
kicked out
know.
the club, bro.
Put that weed away, bro.
Put it out. You about to get full Nelson.
I'm about
out
to.
there.
Hey yo.
Hey, I will give In the Lowest Ferns credit. The owners be just walking around blowing smoke. Like niggas be blowing gas in the Lowest
Hell is
Ferns,
crazy,
and
bro.
they don't be giving
Hey, remember
a
when they
fuck.
started doing that in the ship for a minute, and then the ship was like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Is
I
that
saw
fire?
Riley rolling up. I was like, "Can you do that in here?"
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, "Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody gonna say
ain't
nothing though." Like, you right. You right. My bad.
Yeah,
Blurp that out. Blurp that out. I don't want him getting in trouble. Nah,
Yeah, you gotta beep that.
I
nigga
mean,
name
y'all don't
out.
even do it there no more, so he ain't.
We
gonna
don't
do that
want
shit.
no problems with bro.
But
Yeah.
I guess that can get into a deeper conversation into like what do you allow and not allow in
I-
a venue.
Off rip
You know,
is like my first thought is like safety and security. Like
Okay.
you don't want aggressive ass security. You want somebody that is tactful in handling a situation. Cause I feel like your security guard should be able to like help that drunk person, or like sometimes like I don't know, niggas be taking the wrong drugs and shit like that, and you gotta be able to respond to that situation in the proper way.
In a
Like you
calm
can't
way.
mishandle people because like people are irresponsible.
Yeah.
I've seen bouncers like go crazy on niggas for no reason.
Yeah.
Ego
And it's like, bro,
tripping,
you already
power
came here on a
tripping.
bad mood, so now you just looking for a reason to
Exactly.
like set off.
And then just like you gotta have good judgment when it's like as a bartender.
Yes.
Like you can't be letting niggas get too off
Too-
the eekies.
Yeah.
Too fucked up. Cause that's just bad shit happens.
Yeah.
With bouncers and security, I think it's a perfect balance between being stern, like police officer, but also being there for rescue, like an EMT.
But
Like,
yeah,
you need to
exactly.
be the in between of that.
Security
because-
should be reliable. Like the
Yeah.
we be having a marshal for First Friday. Her name is T, and I fuck with her. Cause anytime that I feel like I see something weird is going on, I'm like, hey, can you help me address this situation?
Yeah.
And she's gonna teach me how to handle it the right way, in a way that's not like, cause I'm a lot of times I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like that's where I jump to immediately. But you can't always just meet some shit with aggression because that shit.
It's gonna amplify it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna amplify it.
But
And
if you know
if-
how to turn it around, like it makes things easier.
And if shit does go down, the first people they're talking to are the owners and the security.
Yeah.
So you need to be that perfect balance between safety but also rescue and help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How you gonna figure that out with a bouncer? I feel like hiring a bouncer like that, it's like you have to see them in action to know.
I mean,
I mean, you
there's
just talk to them,
ways,
talk
there's
to them before
levels.
the shift. Like, hey, man, you
I'm
good?
not a hiring manager.
Y'all
but
good?
yeah.
Like, listen, I need you to be on point, but I don't want you being aggressive with people either.
experience.
Yeah,
Okay, so
it's
we got
experience.
bartenders, you got security.
And like
Who
There-
you turning away? At your
a lot
club?
of niggas is like a lot of the real
You.
good security is like super friendly, you know,
yeah.
because it's different levels. Because definitely at Bridges, the security is gonna be different, you know.
One time I was at Bridgers. I was like, I don't know why I was there. It was after a Chiefs game. Tell me why I turn around. McCole Hardman is wearing a security shirt, popping bottles on bitches.
Hey, yo!
On God.
Hey, oh, God!
On God.
Yes,
God damn it, McCall.
Big weekend, not only for Lowe's firms, but but in music as well. You know what I'm saying? We got some great music to drop this weekend. First thing up, mixtape Pluto, Future Back. Another one, third one this year. Who heard it? I know you ain't listened to it, have you?
I haven't heard it yet.
I feel like it should have came out before these albums.
You think
Heard
so?
one song.
Yes.
Okay, so I think on the intro, Teflon Don, he samples The Godfather too.
He does.
Yeah.
What happens? What part?
Just
Is
like
it-
the
Oh, yeah,
like the
the-
music,
the
in-
score.
yeah, the score.
Mhm.
Yeah, so but so when I first played it Friday night, I was like, okay, this is just like an okay Future project. Kind of sounded like what I was expecting, but nothing blew me away, right? And then I played it yesterday at the gym with a more focused listen, and I actually grew to appreciate it a lot more because it's like when you listen to Future, like it on surface level, it's pretty basic stuff, right? You know, you throw it on in the background and you catch a vibe to it, whatever, move on, whatever you want to do, right? But when you actually listen to Future's music, like his pockets, his melodies, like his writing, it's really good. Like it's really elite shit. And it's like you have to really focus in on what he's saying and how he's saying it to really understand like the skill level he has when it comes to making this kind of music. Because yeah, Future doesn't really talk about anything new under the sun, but how he's able to diversify what he talks about in by wording it in different ways so it doesn't get repetitive is super impressive, especially because he's been doing it for like 10 plus years now. Like we're 10 years away from Monster this month or in October, and he's still making music at a high level. He put out 2 amazing albums back in April back to back, and
He
he
dropped
just
that single All Red too.
yeah.
Low key, them lines starting to get blurred. I'm like, fuck.
You heard? You feel me?
Yeah, I can't tell if Cardi trying to sound like Future or Future trying to sound like Cardi.
I think it's Cardi sound like Future, but yeah. Before we get to that, but
Great
Yeah.
run this year though.
But
Future.
this album, man, is actually really dope. If you fuck with mixtape Future, like just early Future, like you get a lot of those mixtape elements that you gravitate towards and made you a fan of Future, like on this project. Like this is not a very polished project compared to We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You. This is just like him, like I'm back in the dungeon, we in Atlanta, like we back to like we gritting again.
What if he already had this and it's just here's some more? You know what? Here's 2 more for you.
Yeah, here's another one for you. Like I mean, honestly, if this is the kind of quality music he just be sitting on, that's amazing.
And didn't he? I have a theory about why he's flooding the market. Didn't he just sell off his catalog?
Yeah.
Okay, so
This might be a restart because I
Yeah,
think he
this
did
is
that
definitely a
prior to
restart.
We Don't Trust You.
Yep.
Yeah, so now he's just driving the value back up for the second wave of his discography.
Y'all think Future will get a Grammy this year?
I think he'll get one for like that.
like that. Yeah.
Like that. I like to see We
That
Don't
would be
Trust You
crazy.
still win for like some Grammy, but I don't think he's going to.
Is there a category for like collaborative albums?
I don't think so. Just collaborative songs and work like that. But yeah, man, that mixtape Pluto, man. Pluto back in his bag.
It's legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else? What else came out?
Did
See.
you hear that song?
Yeah. Oh, that was a Pluto Ski.
Yeah, Pluto Ski.
Yeah, that shit was fire. Yeah. That reminded me of that Future song, like I done poured a whole A for Cody. Yeah, that gave me that kind of energy. And so before we get to the next new album, I want to ask y'all a question to the pod. So I saw this clip, right? GQ's been doing these GOAT conversations where they'll take 2 people, sit them down, they'll give them cars, and they'll be like a GOAT something, right? It was Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz, and they pulled a card that said GOAT mixtape. And 2 Chainz couldn't really come up with an answer like what the GOAT mixtape is. So Lil Wayne answers, he goes, oh, that's easy, 56 Nights, Future. And they moved on. So I wanted to offer it up to y'all, like, what do y'all say are y'all 3 favorite mixtapes of all time?
Y'all go first.
See, I'll go first. So I thought about my list, right? So 56 Nights by Future is definitely on there.
I think 56 Nights crazy. I think me and Young go crazy.
That shit was
I did
groundbreaking.
56 balls all
I'ma
in one
put-
month, nigga, and I'm still drinking.
I'm gonna put
let's see.
Sorry for the Wait
Sorry for the Wait.
in there
Okay.
for me. I got Acid Rap by Chance. I listen to that a lot.
That's a good one.
Um,
You gotta have a Wayne
yeah,
mixtape.
a Wayne.
I feel like you
Sorry
have
for
to.
the Wait was my shit.
And I got the Drought 3. That's 2. And then I would say number 3 is Forever in a Day by Big Crit.
I'm gonna go with Nostalgia Ultra, Frank Ocean.
Ooh, okay.
American Wedding.
Yeah, I'm going Nostalgia Ultra, Frank Ocean. I'm also gonna go with
Ooh, that's a good one, Andre. I didn't even think of that one.
Which one was it?
Nostalgia Ultra.
Okay, yeah.
The orange car.
Yeah.
2011.
Yep. I'm also gonna go with Royalty.
Ooh.
Childish Gambino!
Yeah. One love, we can let it out. Yep.
Shoulda known. I
Yeah,
shoulda
buddy. Yeah.
known.
And then lastly, I'm gonna go with the last mixtape that I really feel like not I respected, but I saw as a mixtape. Everything now in the streaming era is a project. It's just a project.
Yeah.
Right? We can call it what we want, but I'm gonna go with Coloring Book.
Coloring book.
Coloring Book is my third.
That wasn't an album technically.
It wasn't an
That
album.
wasn't an album.
It
No.
wasn't an album.
No,
was a
the
mixtape.
Big Day was the album.
That's fucked up.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't
That's
say I like
crazy.
Coloring Book more than Acid Rap, but I feel like Coloring Book came out in such a pivotal moment in my life
Yeah, it's more impactful.
to where I have to respect it as one of my favorite mixtapes of all time.
Okay.
Sion, did you say your three already?
Yeah, he said acid rap.
I said acid rap. Sorry for the wait, and then the third one. Fuck, man.
So what's getting that 3 spot?
I don't know.
The
bro.
third spot's always the toughest.
Loki was gonna say like So Far Gone.
That's a good one.
That
That's
counts,
That's
bro.
a big one. That is a
literally
mixtape.
I listened to that album a lot, or that mixtape a lot.
That's a huge one for real.
That shifted mixtape culture too, in terms like what a mixtape
Yeah.
is.
I think it upped the quality of mixtapes.
Making original music as opposed
Yeah.
to freestyles.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Houston, Atlanta,
That was my
Vegas.
shit.
Or
Brand
Uptown,
New,
Uptown.
Uptown was crazy.
Ignorant shit
Yeah, I didn't realize what the sample was
on Uptown.
from Uptown Girl. Uptown Girl. It's the melody from it. Yeah, no, it's Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
but that's that they just screwed it up a little bit.
That's tough.
All right,
And
I
then you
think
get that third one.
no, yeah, he
Yeah,
did
So
his
Far
third.
Gone.
So Far-
Acid
okay, so you going
Rap,
with that one?
And then
Okay.
Sorry for the wait.
Sorry for the wait. And then what was the first one? Acid rap.
Yeah, Acid Rap.
Okay.
Sebastian, you got any?
I'm chilling. I'm gonna go cushion orange juice.
Okay, I was gonna say, I feel like that definitely earns it.
Fire.
Yeah, I just ran it again. That's why I'm like how I am, because of Wiz. I
Is
legit.
Mesmerized on that?
Yeah.
Bro, that song
That was like
is
the second
Look,
song
bro,
too.
so good.
I listened to it. It's like only maybe 1 or 2 skips, like songs that didn't age well. I listened to like last week. Shit, I'm putting No Ceilings in there. That's 2,
Yeah.
and then, damn, bro.
Who gonna make that third spot?
Yeah, third spot's hard.
I like Forever in a Day too,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do The Flower of Life by Cocaine 80s.
Oh, okay.
That's like probably one of the craziest mixtapes or projects that nobody ever heard of.
Because they were never on streaming.
Yeah, so Cocaine 80s was like James Fauntleroy,
Janae Aiko.
Janae
and
Aiko, Common.
No ID? Was
I
he
think
producing?
No ID did some production for them on that project, but James Fauntleroy does a cover or like a remake of like Tattoo, like a Tattoo. Yeah, and it's
By Sade?
crazy. Yeah. And I never heard anything like that. I heard that in like 2012.
Yeah.
And that's probably the
And
craziest.
I think that was the only one they did too.
Yeah, like a full project, and then that was it.
Yeah, and they never did it again.
We got some questions. Would y'all consider, and maybe I was tripping at this time, was Malibu by Anderson .Paak a mixtape?
No, I think that was an
Malibu.
album.
No, I think that's
Do y'all consider the 0.5 projects from Amine as mixtapes? The 1.5, the 2.5?
No, those are like
Because those were like additions to the
EPs.
original, right?
Hmm?
Those were additionals to the original albums.
Mm-mm.
it was
they're-
like
They're,
Lucy's.
they're projects. This was 2.5.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll go to just Amine's discography because I feel like niggas be sleep on Amine, bro.
Not because the what was the one that had the tennis ball on it?
That was Limbo.
Limbo. That was a great album.
That's a project.
That's
yeah.
a fire album.
So
That's
he
when
had the
Kobe
Good for
passed.
You where he's on
Yeah.
the toilet, then it's 1.5, then Limbo, then 2.5, and then Kate Mine.
Yeah, I guess like, you can consider those mixtapes.
Yeah, 2.5.
That's the one with
is-
Charmander on it, right?
If-
Yeah.
If y'all could pick 2 honorable mentions.
2 album mentions. Ooh. I got Cigarette Boats, and then I'll go.
Oh, cigarette boats. It got that children of the ghetto. Keep your head. That's that shit.
The music got the
Honorable
Harry
mentions for
Fraud.
me.
To the
You know it's crazy?
sky.
I feel like I should have put a Larry June project in there.
I don't even know if those be mixtapes though.
Yeah.
And I guess for my fifth, I'll go Live Love ASAP.
I was gonna say, just for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
for me, I listen to Overly Dedicated a lot.
OD, yes.
Oh, we got
How
some
we-
kid Section 80 mixtape.
I like that.
Forgot about that.
See, but this is why you can't
And
give
then-
the question out an hour before.
1999, Joey Badass.
I was gonna wonder
Yes.
if he was gonna make it on somebody's list.
That era was crazy.
1999 was like, that album blew my mind when I first heard it.
Yeah,
'Cause it
especially
was just like New
17-year-old is going crazy.
This nigga's 17. I was like, bro,
Still
who
in
is this
school.
nigga?
And I'm
he had his
thinking
whole
about
crew with him
signing
too,
to the
like,
rocks, cause my
Capital
niggas on the
Steez.
block still assigned to the rocks. Take your ass on.
And who else? J. Cole.
Which one? Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a classic.
that's a classic
That's a
right there.
can't take that from Cole.
Let me see what else I'm looking.
Can't take that from Cole. I might take that big 3 spot from him though.
Weekend.
His
on
future
there?
creeping on the come up.
Hey man,
That was one of the ones.
The ASAP Lords Never Worry.
Lords never worry.
Dude, I used to wake up and play Full Metal
Dum,
Jacket
dum, dum,
at
dum,
the
dum,
loudest
dum.
at the loudest volume. Yeah.
Oh, that was on the album.
They
Yeah,
had-
Lords Never Worry was the ASAP Mob mixtape.
They got this song called Underground Killers where they got a Raekwon feature.
Yeah.
They did some hard shit like in the beginning. It was like crazy. And then fucking ASAP Ant got the song with I should have talked with Bodega Bams.
Oh yeah.
Yes, bro.
I'm gonna
I
put
love
Faces
that
by
shit.
Mac Miller in there too.
Faces by Mac Miller.
look, bro. That was
He was looking right. He was waiting for it.
This thing. I second that.
I debated putting that in there, but I think that is like more album status. Like I know it was a mixtape, but I'm saying like
How he
how
approached
I
it.
look at it, yeah, and how it came out was like a album to me, cause it really is like its own world. Like you feel like you in the studio with that nigga, and
He
it's
just
kind of
he
it
going
is
crazy.
weird.
Yeah.
Like by the time you get to Insomniac, you like, all right, we like still up, like we still on the bender, and it's like.
Colors and Shapes.
I'd say Angel Dust.
Or
Just a little angel
A
dust.
Maria.
Maria.
Ave Maria.
Or
What'd you say the first one was? The first song that you liked off that album?
off
Color-
of
Faces?
Faces?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fuck, what did I just say? Oh, Wedding.
Wedding.
And then New Polo.
Yeah, Polo.
Polo jeans.
Cruel Summer,
Yeah,
that's an
Polo
album.
jeans.
Polo jeans is fire.
Man, I really like. I like Funeral. I like Happy Birthday. Like from really from like 6 to 12 is kind of a crazy run.
Let's see. Oh yeah, what do you do?
Yeah.
I think I'm Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah,
bro.
Mike Jones was a crazy feature.
I got a
It's a good Mike Jones
obscure
verse, too.
honorable mention, but this one really I fucked with as a youth.
youth.
Is Phony Land by Phony People.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Mixtape Phony People.
yeah,
Huh? Hey man, I got a lot in my shit, man.
bro. I
I
had
got a
to
lot in my shit, man.
Talk about it, Andre.
look. We here for the weird.
I'm a man of
alty
the
shit,
culture,
man.
bro.
Send it
Yeah.
I can get down with a lot of music. It just can't be the same
Y'all
shit
just
all the
can't
time.
come to our club.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't want none of you hipster alts in the club.
And what was the other one?
What?
What was
I don't know.
what was the other one? You did
Um,
Phony People.
Phony People, and then I'm gonna go with. Fuck, bro. Milk is nasty.
Milk is Kai
Hey, talk about
Colors. Shout out to Kai. Town business right there.
Can y'all pick y'all favorite mixtape from here?
From here?
Mine is 1990X.
Oh, by G?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Milk is nasty. It's the pinnacle. I feel like it's the pinnacle, bro. It's there.
Yeah.
It has everything, bro.
Could I?
And
Actually, I don't know if this was a mixtape, but I liked No Scopes. I Do My Own Stunts that he did with Quan Chi.
that's a good mixtape.
That's a great.
That's a good mixtape.
Yeah, I don't know if he classifies that, but just for the sake of this topic,
No
yeah,
Scopes.
I'll say I Do My Own Stunts.
Zeph France, August 28th is a great.
That's
Oh,
a great.
that was
Oh,
crazy.
that
That's
was
a great
wild.
mixtape, too.
Yeah. Ooh, that intro was crazy.
I
Yeah.
like A Love Blemish a lot.
the original mixtape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't. I don't know.
It is. And then that nigga took it down.
And then made it
remember
the
when
album.
yeah. And then it became the album.
Yeah. Cause by the time I got
Some Kanye shit.
By the time I got hip to him, he
Yeah.
just took that shit down.
Yeah.
We did the interview. I'm like, yeah, bro, I couldn't find your album. He's like, I took that down.
I remember writing for Saber 3, and It's a Love Blemish. And by the time Saber 3 came out, he took it down. I'm like, nigga.
Hey, RSN by Ray Money.
Yeah.
Yo, RSN.
Ain't no skips on there.
None.
That's like a
Ooh,
complete project.
That man was spazzing.
And
on
you got some Colors production on there.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Wet.
with Love by Faith or with Faith by Love?
That's an album.
That's the album.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we missing somebody. Like there's some that
Like, I don't know what Dame
I can't
classifies.
think of-
It's Southside Super.
Southside
Oh.
Superstar.
that one is like really that was crazy.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought Dame was out of here after that. I was like, this goes.
This is
This
taking
is
over.
it.
This is taking
And
over.
then that the music video from Kindu,
Where it's
Where
like
he's
he's
playing
in the
basketball?
office.
No,
Oh,
that's
That's Southside Ray.
That's Jeremiah. David, whatever the fuck
Davin?
that nigga
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. All right.
We'll talk about it off camera.
All right. Anyway, but yeah, we got some good mixtapes from the town.
Dude.
We do. And speaking,
Damn, it's
we
too.
got- hey,
Still,
yeah.
wait, was
Speaking-
Sylvia demo a mixtape?
No,
no,
that's an album.
that was an album.
That's an album because it had a deluxe.
Okay.
Shot You Down with
The
with
remix
everybody.
with Schoolboy
Okay,
Q
okay.
and SZA and J Rock. Yeah.
Then we didn't even talk about them niggas mixtapes.
Say nobody mentioned Section 80 in their mixtapes.
They didn't
That
make the
wasn't a
cut.
mixtape.
Was that an album? Because Mad City was,
That was an
the
EP.
debut album.
I'm pretty sure Section 80 was a mixtape.
Because I can go back and we can throw some.
No, we
Oh, yeah.
can't. We
No,
gonna
we standing on
yeah.
it. We standing on it.
Stand on it.
We standing on it. It's final. But yo, speaking of town business, man, some shit happened this past weekend. Some big shit in the town. He was just on the podcast. Now he's on streaming service. Ladies and gentlemen, BlackStarKids are back, motherfuckers, in a big way. Welcome to Saturn World, man. Saturn Days is officially out. Disc 1 of the 2-disc album from BlackStarKids. Woo! Gentlemen, have you guys heard it? And if so, how we feeling about
I've
BlackStarKids?
heard a few pieces. I haven't been able
music.
to digest it yet.
Man,
I heard I got the energy I was getting from Todd was good though.
Yeah,
I will say that.
definitely.
I feel like I only heard the one song.
And you was talking to me about on Friday how when we did the interview, he talked about how he wanted to be more energized
Yeah.
in his verses. And you said that was something you definitely picked up on?
Yeah, I immediately like noticed it because it's like, and it is interesting because just knowing him more as a person, you see how like, damn, this probably take a lot out of you
Yeah.
to just like,
Just all that creative energy
yeah,
and to put it out there. So like I could finally say it, but I heard this album like a year ago.
yeah,
He came by the crib and played it for me, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
yeah.
And so at the time though, it wasn't mixed or mastered, so it still wasn't done yet. But to hear it now completed, and it was cool just hearing him talking about the concept behind it. So now that it's out, we can talk about it. So there's a third track on there called "The Emancipation of Stevie Wonder."
Yeah.
As you guys, everybody here's a big Stevie Wonder fan, right? The
Yeah.
Songs in the Key of Life, the most popular album. There's a song on there called Saturn. And so he was telling me the concept of it was that he was listening to Stevie Wonder one night. He heard Saturn, and he wanted to turn that into a concept because on the song Saturn by Stevie Wonder, he's talking about how it's just like a euphoria of a planet that we can all go to and escape our problems from here and be who we really want to be.
As in black people or just people in general?
Well, I think just as in general, but Ty took it and made it as like a utopia for black people. And that's what Saturn Days is about. It's about this black girl getting abducted by aliens from Earth and taken to Saturn and being shown this utopia for black people. And she's just like, what is going on here? Like, what is this? Like, it's Saturn. Like, everybody up here is black and happy. Because, like, we're allowed to be who we were supposed to be on Earth, on Saturn. And so that's the concept of the album Saturn Days. And that's the story behind it. And listening to it Friday night when it came out, I was really getting, like, a really cool cherry bomb vibe in terms of like where there's a bunch of different musical elements that they like and they want to experiment with, and they're bringing them all together to tell this story and create this world that's outer space. And I think the outer space concept allows them to be way more experimental because it's like, we're on Saturn. Who knows what it sounds like on Saturn? We're giving you an idea of what it sounded like and what it looked like. And so that's what the whole album is about. It's like her getting abducted, going to Saturn, finding love, seeing what it's like on this planet, and then leaving at the end to go back to Earth.
Oh shit.
That shit sounds fire.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
sound fire as
It's
fuck.
it's hella experimental. Like, and I think this is a great album. Where these last two albums are great bodies of work for them to NBSK on if they choose to, because they're really at the peak of their creativity right now in terms of like their talent skill sets. Because listen to this album, I could really understand what each person in the band's role is. Like Ty is like the rapper, vocalist, Gabe is the singer, and then Dre. Dre killed this shit because he would kind of come in at the end on a bridge or a hook at the end and
Yeah.
just do that. He had a couple of verses on this album that were fire too, but for the most part, it seemed like his role was just being the bridge guy and then singing on the hooks as well, which he did an amazing job at. Like Gabe went crazy on Killjoy. Like, her singing is amazing. I'm a fan of that and super excited to hear what her and Ty do together. Ty was like the voice that was helped tying the story together as like the rapper. And
The
so
narrator.
yeah, kind of. And so it was just cool hearing all of them in their roles and in their elements on this project come together like this, and it makes sense because the concept sounds kind of extreme, but how they're able to explain it, you kind of understand why it took them 2+ years to make this album. But since they were able to actually put it out there and put it together in a way that a consumer can enjoy it, I think it's really dope on their end, because this was a big challenge on their end and a big risk in a way, but it definitely paid off for them, I think, musically. Now, Andre, he specifically wanted your opinion. Ty hit me up on Twitter. He's like, yo, I need y'all to talk about the album, and I need Andre to have a mic for it.
I'm trying to set the camera right. The white balance is fucked up.
Oh, shit.
Hold on, give me a
Go
second.
ahead, get us right, Andre. Make sure we look good, too.
Hey, man, I'm trying, bro.
You can hide, you can dance around, Killjoy. Yeah, Gabe had an amazing performance on this album vocally. I'm super excited for what her solo album's gonna sound like and what she's about to do with that musically.
There we go. That's all right. All right. Yeah, this is the first time I got called out by an artist to review their music. And when I'm gonna be totally honest. When I first turned it on, the first two songs I did not like.
You did not like Wish or Killjoy?
No.
What?
I was just like, what is happening? What is happening? And I had to put it down. I was like, all right, let me come back, because it was after the club. So I'm like drowsy.
Okay, yeah.
This was Friday night after the club. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to put my all into this. They respected me enough to like call me out. So I have to respect them to like actually dive into it. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, I got to do this tomorrow. So I waited until Saturday to listen to Saturn Days. And the next like 5 songs I really, really liked. And it wasn't until the song, was it the 4th song after Emancipation?
Was it Soulmates?
I think so.
Yeah.
Where I really started to like, I don't know how to describe it. Like I had an epiphany of sorts where I noticed that the energy that's on the album isn't to just be sat and listened to and digested. It should be performed live. There's a lot of songs where I can tell like it's not just to like drive around to, it's to experience and move to.
Yeah.
Like it's to express yourself. And that's kind of what I got from the whole project as a whole, is to not be confined in which
The stereotypes.
the labels that are placed upon us, specifically towards Black people, and really just embrace what you want to do. And I like there's a moment on one of the songs where Gabe goes, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just let the chorus run. And I was like, all right, I fuck with it. Because she's like, should I go to therapy? Should I do this? Should I do that? And then she goes,
That's Soulmate. I think it might be Saturn Day.
okay, yeah. And she like, fuck this. Just let the chorus come in. So I like that a lot. I do need to listen to it again. I want to see it live. Like if this was able to, even if it's just a video, like they don't have to perform it in front of people. I'd like to be in that, like when they perform it live, or like see that happen. But I want to see how they present it past audio.
Yeah.
So they put out 2 videos so far.
Yeah.
They put out one for Soulmates, which came out before the album dropped.
Yeah.
And then they just dropped Saturn Days like 2 days ago.
See, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
The Saturn Days video is pretty cool.
Like I'm thinking of like some shit like Tierra Whack, where the whole album is performed.
Oh yeah, like a whole stage is set up and
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
And it's considered, because if these are their last projects, like you got to give us something more than what you've already given us.
To
So-
really make it a hurrah
Yeah.
into the sunset.
And that's what I left with leaving this project, I guess.
Like you just want to
is-
see it live.
Yeah, I want to see it live, and I want to hear the next one. I know that's very consumer, more, give me more.
Yeah.
But like I said, there are songs. When you said Cherry Bomb, I thought that was a perfect, I don't know, pinpoint
Analogy.
to it, because there's analogy, because there's a lot of things that are going on, especially in those first two songs.
Yeah.
And then the other song that, hold on, let me see. Is it Love is a Mosh Pit?
Which is
I
where it's like hella chaotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those chaotic songs I want to see performed. Like, I understand that they might not like go on tour for this, but if they do, I'd like to see it live just so I can like bang to it.
Yeah, and because that sometimes with albums like this, those live shows are really how you really get into the album.
Yeah.
In the universe it's creating, in the world it created.
Yeah.
And so I think that would definitely help elevate it and just give the music listener another level of appreciation for the album.
Yeah.
Now that we've been inside the world.
Because I found myself, because I said this on pods way back when the Beano album came out, and I even talked to Alex and Ezra when I was like listening to it, like it was stressing me out, and there were moments on this album that were stressing me the fuck out, and that could be good. Like, I think that's what they're going for. I think a lot of the things that are on this project are very intentional, and especially speaking to Ty about it, when we did, I can see the care that was given to it, but there are songs on here that aren't for me.
Yeah, it's funny you didn't like, because I love Killjoy too. That's the second song, and then the first song I liked it because the energy of it reminded me. I've been watching a lot of animes of late,
Yeah,
and the energy reminds me of like an opening montage for an anime show, like
That-
JJK or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like high energy, really upbeat, poppy.
it reminded me of like the Cartoon Network bumpers or the Boomerang bumpers. They're good. They're
It'd be
it's
like in
all coming
between.
back to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the I don't know how to like replicate it like
It's
with
like Jungle Beat.
audibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was intense for me, and I was like, I'm not ready for this. Let me put this down and come back to it tomorrow.
Dude, right after the club.
Right after the
you-
club.
You wasn't gonna like nothing that you listen to.
No, I mean, I like the songs after.
The Emancipation Stevie Wonder is probably my favorite.
And we're talking about a club experience where I was wanting something different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was wanting to.
So it pulled you out of that shit.
It
you
snapped
was
me
in.
right out.
It pulled
Yeah.
you
I was
out.
just like, it woke me up, and I was just like,
He's like, well, it was a lot.
yeah.
A little late.
I'm like, if you ever be driving around listening to music and then just like, I gotta cut this. It's not that the music is bad or that you don't want.
Yeah, you
You just need to
some
drive
silence.
like in silence.
Yeah.
That's how it whipped me. It was like, all right, there's saxophones going off and they're still talking, and I just need to come back to this tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad I did listen to it. I need to listen to it some more. Shout out Ty for calling me out. We need more of that.
Yeah, and I will gotta salute BlackStarKids for the musicality on this album, because there's so many different musical elements that they just bring together on this album. That's just like you wouldn't think it makes sense, but they somehow make it work, and that's why I love it, because it's just so ambitiously like musically driven, and that's how I always view Cherry Bomb. Even if people didn't like it, I always appreciated and respected it because there was a lot of drive and ambition behind it musically that he was trying to do, and he eventually got that sound down in the later projects too, which is why it's cool. But I get that same feeling with this BSK album. And it's pretty cool because there's like little outros at the end of some songs that kind of have like a Thundercat little vibe to it, or like an NERD. And I know Ty loves A Tribe Called Quest, and Midnight Marauders is his favorite album. And at one point at the end on Heaven on Earth or Mother Earth, the outro is like, oh, if you love disc 1, you're going to love disc 2. Similar to like in 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Like he took that and put it on the album. So I was able to catch that. I was like, oh, that's cool, because I know you fuck with that album a lot. And then like on the last song, Ty had a pretty tight verse where he's just like tying all the song titles into the verse as he wraps up the album. And I thought that was pretty cool creatively. And it made me feel good, and it made me feel excited for disc 2 when it drops in October.
I also like the little soundbite where they were like, so is God black?
Nope.
He's
That's
like,
Paris.
nope.
That's Paris's voice.
Yeah, and then he's like, so can he say nigga? He's like, well, I guess who's
Who
going
gonna
to stop
stop
him? He's like, well, he shouldn't say that shit around me.
That's That's great.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, man. So
Shout out to BlackStarKids.
shout out to BlackStarKids, man, doing it one more time. One last hurrah into the sunset. So I hope they are able to flesh out this universe the way they want to, because this is a great universe. And, you know, it's a shame that they're not going to do any more albums after this next album, because I do like the direction they're going in musically. But I know Ty and Gabe will probably carry that on. So it's going to be great. I'm excited.
Don't you like? I kind of have the same feeling for Your Eyes Only, like the last song on that J. Cole project.
Yeah.
Where I was like, damn, he's just now rap. Like I felt like he was just now getting into his stride. How do you feel about when artists already tell you the end is coming while also releasing music? How does that make you feel about the music that they're releasing?
I mean, it depends. It can be bittersweet. Depends on like what's ending, like if their career's ending or if the group's ending. It's kind of bittersweet, but that means you can also savor the moment because this is like the last of it, and you're getting to experience it in real time, as opposed to like 10 years from now when you discover BlackStarKids, like, oh damn, this would have been cool to experience in real time. But
Yeah.
you know, it sucks. But you know, it could be bittersweet.
I feel like that's kind of where I'm at. Is like it makes you want to listen to it with more care, just like try and appreciate the moment more, as opposed to like, you know, just being a mindless consumer.
Does it ever make you feel like the project is not for a lack of better words, like, does it feel like this is the end, or does it feel like they could keep going and stopping before like it goes somewhere else?
I mean, they could keep going. I mean, this concept could just be done with these two albums, and they can go somewhere another direction if they wanted to, or they can continue it.
Because how many? This is their second album, right?
The overall,
Yeah,
no, this is like their third or fourth.
their third,
Might be their fifth album actually.
fifth.
They put out like 3 or 4 projects prior to this one.
Then let me
But-
shut up.
Yeah, I think this might be their 4th or 5th project, and then the next album will be the 6th or 5th, depending on like what number this one is.
I think it's just like a good transition. I don't really see it as like an end. I don't know.
It might just be like a
new
transition
beginnings.
into like what they want to do as solo artists.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's certain sounds on here I talked to Ty about. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do more of that on my solo project, or like for Gabe's project. So that's what hearing this album has got me more excited for their solo music
Yeah.
and like what they're gonna do as individual artists. Because
That's what I'm
they
looking
clearly
for.
got the musicality as artists to do whatever sound they want to do, and they got the versatility to be able to do multiple sounds or genres that they want to. So it's just really a matter of like what direction they want to go as individual solo artists.
Yep.
And who they want to be as people and artists.
Yeah, sometimes the band's got to break up.
You know, just move on to bigger ideas.
The Power Rangers can't always be the Power Rangers.
You know what I'm saying? And the good thing about this album is that you could really tell, like, he told us everybody put their all into these projects, and you could tell, like, you know, usually if groups are going to break up after their next album comes out, you can kind of tell sometimes if they phoned it in, they're trying to get it over with,
Brockhampton.
you know? But
I'm just kidding.
Not for real.
but you don't get that with this album.
Amir had a charge. That's
Yeah.
what happened to Brockhampton.
Oh, yeah.
Amir had a charge,
That
and that was
shit
the face
imploded.
of their first 3 albums.
Yeah,
it
so
kinda
that was
derailed
over.
Everything.
But yeah, so like even if this is the last 2 BSK albums, everybody put their all into it. So there's nobody that's like, oh, they phoned it in or they didn't give a fuck on this song. Like, no, everybody put 100% into it, and it definitely shows.
Yep.
And that's why it's also got me excited for the sequel.
Yeah, and by the next time that they do drop, I'll have done more research because I didn't know they dropped so many albums. Me and Sion were looking back here like, oh shit, this is like 7 projects on this motherfucker.
Yeah,
So,
they ran it up.
Yeah,
in
so
their
they
time
ran it up.
together.
They've had a good run, and you know, shout out to them.
Yeah. Now, before we go, man, there was actually one more discussion Andre wanted to have with the group.
Really?
Yeah, remember?
What did I want to say?
Remember, I was like, you gonna throw it on? You gonna ask the question?
I don't remember the question.
Oh, okay. I see what we're doing now.
I don't remember
I
it.
see what we're doing. Remember, your homie was talking to you about that artist from KC.
Oh.
Wow.
Hey, I got a phone cover. Look,
that was on Joe.
Don't
my
matter.
God.
That was
Shatters.
crazy.
it doesn't matter. I've got a great
Shatters.
phone
I know
case.
that shit don't work no more.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be surprised when we cut these mics off. Just real quick, just
Let's
quick.
go.
Not even talking about
ISO.
dude. Not even talking about dude. But when you look at that street rap, right, and to that extent, is that really profitable in the long term for you to be a
No,
commercially
beef
successful
is
artist?
not. War is not good for business unless you creating the war. Like unless you
Or
pulling
facilitating it.
Yeah. So I think look, the Kendrick effect is happening too. Cause it's like Just make real music. We ain't saying don't kill niggas. Like if you that's what you doing. If that's your life story, talk about it.
Bro, Kendrick
But
told him he'd kill niggas.
It became like shit just become microwave, and you just start hearing the same shit, the same sound, and it's like it ain't no authenticity in it, you know.
And it's gotten too personal.
And it might just be like somebody else played this sound out too.
Yeah,
like the radio just played it out.
But then it's like if you're that kind of artist, like how can you promote singles that are just like mostly street music?
Shit,
And I'm not saying it's not even saying these are bad. Like I like the songs, but it's like if you look at it from a marketing standpoint, you can't promote songs on the radio that advertise like guns.
I don't got no answer for that. Don't nobody pay me to think about those things for them.
No, I feel that, but that's
do.
like that. You got to consider that when it comes to like that question of like, is this person still popping or not?
But do you make music for yourself or do you make it for your audience?
And that's another question. But
Or do you make it to make money?
But if there's a label behind you, then now it comes about that. Like, yeah, hold on to it.
Message.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta let that bitch marinate.
yeah.
Message.
Okay.
But
Well,
that's how I looked at it. I don't think the person's fell off at all because I think they're still an amazing rapper. Like they're still a great lyricist to me for what they do and what they occupy.
this region open right now. Like
It's wide open.
it ain't no rush to put out shit. Like if you rushing to put out music right now, or if you anxious about putting your music out, buddy, you're probably not in a good place. No, for real. Like if you feeling like you need to drop something, like ain't nobody doing nothing around here. Like it ain't no crazy shit happening. That sounds crazy to say, but that's like
But that means the lane's still wide
sometimes-
open.
yeah.
DJ's
sometimes-
got the motion here.
Yeah, and I mean it's off season. Don't rush. Like niggas will know when to drop. Like I probably next year gonna be a crazy year for niggas. And like the winter, like shit gonna start popping in our region a little more.
You got some.
I just got a feeling.
You got some key insider info.
Nah, bro, I don't got no info. I got a feeling.
But yeah, that's episode 104 of the Yadda Yadda podcast. The Kid Joe Cornell
It's your boy Black Ivy.
No, so
and
See ya.
Sebastian.
Ezra.
We all here, baby. Till next time, we out.
Yes, Lord.